English idioms are very useful for foreign English speakers, like you or me, because they allow expressing our thoughts and voice our opinion quickly and using the same phrase in dozens and hundreds of similar situations. Let's take the following idiom: chip on your shoulder. You can use it in pretty much every situation when someone feels they're treated badly and unfairly and they're acting defensively, but it's obvious that there's no good reason for them to behave that way, and they're acting so because of their own insecurities. So instead of describing the whole situation, you can just use this short phrase instead. He's always had a chip on his shoulder. That's why he's acting that way. It's going to save you time and effort, and such and similar idioms are used worldwide. Chickens have come home to roost, on the ball, or elephant in the room. But here's what I've noticed. Many idiom directories like grouping idioms by the actual words contained in those idioms. For example, the two idioms about chickens and the elephant would fall under the same category, animal-related idioms. It might sound like a good idea to give all those hundreds and even thousands of idioms some structure and make them easy to find. When learning idioms, however, it may do more harm than good. So keep watching this video to find out why I'm making such claims. Let's say, for example, you'll learn the following idioms one evening. They were all grouped under a larger category called sports-related idioms. On the ball, step up to the plate, play hardball. You memorized these idioms, you learned what they mean, but here's a problem I've been facing myself countless times when acquiring new English phraseology and vocabulary. You'll find it very difficult to use these new idioms in real life. You'll probably have little difficulties recalling those idioms if you are asked to list sports-related English idioms. But when it comes to using them in real life, in English conversations, you just won't have the necessary associations in your mind to relate this or that particular situation to a particular English idiom. Everything is nice and well while learning idioms from your textbook or some website where they're all grouped in different categories. When you actually try using them, it's a whole new ball game, and you'll be making a lot of mistakes because of the way you learned those idioms. Let's say you learned the idiom barking up the wrong tree as part of dog-related English idiom list, containing such idioms as to put on the dog, can't teach an old dog new tricks, and so on. Now, the problem is that whenever you think of using one of those idioms during a conversation, you'll be having flashbacks of other idioms in the same category. As a result, you might use the wrong idiom, words can get mixed up when you speak, or you may also find that your fluency is hampered because you have to make conscious effort to recall a particular idiom and you're not capable of maintaining an easy, flowing conversation. This problem goes hand in hand with the ones I mentioned previously. To put it simply, if you have the wrong abstract associations created in your mind, you'll also find it difficult to use the respective idioms, and you'll also be making mistakes when trying to use them. Here's how it happens. If you learn the idiom to bark up the wrong tree, having a picture of a dog barking at a tree in your mind, That's what the idiom is largely associated with for you. When native English speakers speak, they don't have these kinds of associations going on in their mind. They use that idiom whenever someone has misunderstood a situation, and 99% of people would never have barking dog's image in front of their eyes when using that phrase. So if you learn whole categories of idioms, you imprint the related images in your mind, and that association will stay there for a long time. So, do you want to find out how to learn English idioms effectively so that you can use them automatically and without much thinking? Well, here comes the most invaluable piece of advice that will take your spoken English improvement to the next level. English words hook up with each other, forming collocations and idioms and idiomatic expressions and all sorts of other phrases. Idioms, in turn, can be associated with different situations and events, and that's the best way to learn them. Let's say you read a new idiom to shoot oneself in the foot. Now, let's forget any possible associations with shotguns, body parts, whatever. What you need to do in order to create proper contextual links in your mind is to look up examples of that idiom in use. Use the internet. There are loads of great websites, such as thefreedictionary.com and others, where you can read sample sentences containing idioms. Do a Google search on that idiom. Click on the search results and see how that idiom is used. For best results, make sure you put that idiom in quotation marks so that only exact matches are displayed. Read those sentences many times over till you have 100% understanding how that idiom is used. In the very end, you should most definitely come up with a few sample sentences yourself and repeat them a good few times, while at the same time imagining yourself in a real-life situation. That way, you'll create associations between idioms and situations instead of idioms and abstract images that have nothing to do with the way they're actually used. And of course, try to use your newly acquired English idioms in real-life conversations with other English speakers. It's the best way to make them part of your active vocabulary. Did you enjoy this video? Are you interested in speaking fluent English by learning loads of practical English idiomatic expressions? Then make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I publish daily English idiomatic expressions and other collocations with sample sentences. Just go to twitter.com/English Harmony, follow me, and leave the rest to me.